understanding the intricacies of such legal documents as arrest warrants, filed charges again. I mean, you would expect that for a former governor, we shouldn't be seeing the kind of drama we're seeing. But let me ask, what was your reaction, or what's your reaction to all of this so far?
Well, thank you very much. Just like many Nigerians, I was shocked because I didn't expect this from a former governor. It was very simple. The EFCC, there were allegations, there were petitions against him, and he was supposed to answer to those petitions. And the EFCC had invited him a lot of times, you know, to just come. It's just a simple petition. A petition is written against you. You're expected to go, you know, and answer to them. But he didn't. He kept evading. He kept refusing to the invitation of the EFCC. So it got to a point that the EFCC said, okay. So they went to court and got a warrant of arrest, okay, to force him, you know, to arrest him and bring him to come and answer to those charges. You know, the Constitution says that you are guilty, I mean, you are innocent until proven guilty. So nobody has said that he is guilty. Just come and answer. You know, this something is missing. Something is said here against you, that you did this, you did that. So just come and say whether you did it or not. And in any case, the commission had done their they did the investigation very, very well. But in any case, you still have to come and, you know, answer to it, you know, and prove them either right or wrong. So he didn't do that, you know. And were we aghast? We were. Nigerians were aghast. Because this is a former governor. He was a ranking member of a
state executive.
Yeah, of Nigeria generally, as a former governor, you know, and a young man at that matter. Yesterday I was listening to a lot of commentaries on radio, and people were like, look, this man, he became governor at 39. He was supposed to be a shining light. He was a good example to young people, you know. And I think to a lot of young people, he has failed in that direction. And so the people are not happy generally that this is happening, you know, to someone who is supposed to be a representative of the youth, you know, young people. So I just like many Nigerians, I am not impressed, I am not happy, and I think that he still has an opportunity to go and answer to the allegations against him.
He failed to appear on Thursday.
Yes.
And the EFCC prosecutor, Kemi Pinero, SAN, has insisted that government would not mind inviting the military to bring him to court. Does Section 12 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act make it necessary to use the military to apprehend somebody, an individual? Let's even look at an individual, talk more of a former governor. Does that section of the Administration of Criminal Act empower the military to now be used as a tool to apprehend an individual?
Right, but the section did not say if the military cannot be used. The section didn't say that. What does Section 12 of ACJA says? It just, look, when someone has a warrant of arrest obtained from the court, you know, you should be granted access. The section says that clearly. And in the event that you fail to grant access to security agents, the law says that they can break through. They can break through your fence, they can break through your window, any way that they can, you know, to effect that arrest.
Was that the case with when the EFCC went through the roof in the case of former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha?
Exactly. That action was clearly predicated on the provisions of that section. And so that is why yesterday a lot of people gave kudos, you know, profusely to the EFCC chairman. You know, because he had maintained that despite this power You know, let's do this with a human face. Let's follow the rule of law. Okay? However, even doing that is in line with the rule of law because the law says you can break in. Okay? So, but he said, you know what? Because of the fact that a lot of Nigerians did not understand how some of these things were done before, they didn't get it, you know, let's just take it easy, particularly when you are dealing with, not just a former governor, anyone, even with these Yahoo boys, with everyone. He said, look, let's use reasonable, let's use reasonable force. Okay? If you notice, there was a time when there was this controversy about EFCC officials raiding Yahoo boys at night and everything.
Yes.
Yes, and he had a meeting with his men and he told them that, look, what all the zonal directors, I know, and he said, no, let's not raid them at night. You know, he has been trying to pander to the whims and caprices of Nigerians, trying to, not in a way that it does not hinder the job. Okay? Okay, we don't have to raid them at night. We can go in the day, you know, and all of that. And
so that it's clearly seen
yes,
how we carry out our operation.
Yes. And mostly we can, let's use intelligence. You understand? If we use intelligence, we can find out where they are, because the reason perhaps they raid at night is because that's the time, you know, that they come together and do these things. It's very easy at that time to get them, you know. And then so he said, anyway, with intelligence we can find out where they are even during the day, you know, and still get them. So he's been trying very hard, you know, to see that there's a shift in the way things were done in the past. So that action you saw on Thursday, in fact, even right there was the Chief Security Officer of the EFCC, I understand Commissioner of Police, who I believe was most senior to most of the people, including even the security of the governor and all those other people. You understand? But you could see that he was acting based on a new provenance in the EFCC. Okay? The chairman has said, let's take it easy. Do you understand? We can still achieve a lot if we take it easy. What we need to do is to take Nigerians along, you know, carry them along and let them understand what we're doing, and so they can also help us, because this fight is not just for EFCC. It's a collective fight. Yes, it's not the fight of the chairman alone. It's not the fight of the staff of and members of the EFCC. It's a collective. So we all have to join in the fight, and so we need their buy-in, so that they don't see us like, oh, we are just doing things, you know, anyhow, just the way we want it, you know. So he said, so, but you can see that even that attitude, this new attitude, was abused on Thursday, you know, because apart from the governor refusing to come in, refusing to come out, refusing to submit himself to arrest, his governor came, he sent for his governor, who came and whisked him away in his official. In fact, if not for immunity, the governor himself, because even if you look at that ACJA, you are entitled, you have for that obstruction of justice, he's supposed to at least go for 2 years imprisonment. It's there in the Section 12. You understand? But because he has immunity, I don't know, I think that's not going to happen now, you know.
After he leaves office.
When he leaves office, it could become an issue. You follow? So it's unfortunate. But you see, I don't understand why a former governor would think, I don't know why he thinks it's too big. He was even asking the president to call the EFCC to order. But other governors who were invited in the past, as I speak to you, even yesterday, Obiano's case came up.
Yes.
You understand? Obiano submitted himself after he left office, and when he was invited, he was, you know, and Fayose submitted. The very day Fayose came himself. You understand? As I speak to you, there's the penultimate president of the U.S., Trump, is facing charges in America.
Yes.
And he goes every day. He was in court on Tuesday, he was in court on Thursday, he was in court yesterday, and he will be in court today. You understand? And so I don't understand why a governor will ask the president to call the EFCC. So if you have nothing to fear.
Does he feel that he's being witch hunted?
Well, that's his view. But that's what some of his supporters are saying. Why would anybody witch hunt you? If I ask you now, if the EFCC invites you now, if there's an allegation, if somebody comes up with an allegation against you and says you did blah blah blah, EFCC says, come and answer to it. Why would you think that anyone is witch hunting you? If you know that you didn't do it, even if you did it, it's just for you to go there. But particularly if you are sure your hands are clean,
but you're looking
you did nothing, so it shouldn't be difficult for you to go to that place. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not, listen, it's not everyone who goes to EFCC that is prosecuted. It's not everyone who goes there that is detained. A lot of times people come and they look at some of the allegations are frivolous, and then they let you go. You follow? And so sometimes the people who work at the EFCC officials, they're also very, very reasonable people. Very reasonable, very intelligent. In fact, you go there, you see people who are many of them have PhDs. They are very intelligent people. Many of them, they have postgraduate staff. Many postgraduate staff are there. They have been trained all over the world to go to every part of the world. They are very, very well trained. You know, and so it's not that there are some miscreants, yes, who don't know what they are doing. No, they look at the facts, they look at the issues, and so if you're invited and you come, if there's no merit, they let you go. So there's no case of witch hunting. If anyone is witch hunting, it's okay. But you're a former governor, you don't have anything to fear. You get your lawyer, you go there, you look at the issues, and even if they prosecute you, even if they decide to go to court, that's why the court is there. Okay. The court is there. If they're witch hunting you, is the court also witch hunting you? You should go to the court and take your time and go to the court and face the charges. And if there is nothing substantial found against you, particularly if in a criminal case, you understand, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And if they cannot prove the cases accurately, then why not? You'll be allowed to go. You know, so I don't think that the issue of witch hunting, you know, is anybody buys it. Because if all of us, if all Nigerians, you know come up with that idea that, look, I'm being witch hunted, I won't go. So who is going to answer to anything that anybody brings to him? If the police invite you, say it's a witch hunt. EFCC invites you, say it's a witch hunt. NDLA says it's a witch hunt. So, of course, it means they don't have a job.
Well, you talked about going to the court. Yeah. Is YAYA BELLO in breach of any court order? Because considering that there is an order of a high court in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, restraining the EFCC from arresting and detaining him.
But there's also an order of the Federal High Court, okay, that issued the warrant. Okay. So
the order of the High Court nullifies.
As a matter of fact, you cannot, when you are suing a federal agency, you don't go to the state High Court. You go to the Federal High Court. There are a plethora of cases on that. So I don't understand how. I don't think that the court in Kogi
but considering that the case filed against him has to do with the state.
Doesn't matter. EFCC is not a commission owned by the state. It's a federal government institution. You can't sue it at the state. That's why there's a federal high court in every state. You should have approached the federal high court in
Kogi State,
yeah, and not the state high court. But you see, because these guys, I don't know, somehow. Well, there are some things I can't say on air, so let me just let that slide, okay? There's a reason why they went to state high court. Maybe they feel that they can easily get judgment from there. And in any case, I don't understand how a judge, you know, makes an order and says EFCC should not prosecute him, EFCC should not detain him, EFCC should not, I've forgotten. Arrest. What kind of order is that? What kind of order? I don't understand that. Is that a perpetual immunity? That he cannot, there's nothing they can, suppose all governors obtain, all these kind of judgments, almost every governor can easily obtain it. Almost any governor. They can obtain such orders.
But we've seen situations like in the case of Rocha Sokorocha, where several charges have been filed against him and courts of competent jurisdiction have found him not guilty. And yet we still see the EFCC will still file counter charges and other charges against him. Doesn't that suggest that a thorough investigation hasn't been done?
Not really. It's not like they've not done their investigation. You see, it's very easy when you say it, because when you're outside and you say thorough investigation hasn't been done. Okay? That may not be the case.
Okay.
If the EFCC, if the court finds you not guilty on 1 or 2 counts, there could be other counts. Okay? And if the court says you are not guilty, the EFCC has a right to appeal the judgment. All right? And so I don't see how that holds water at all until if he's acquitted by the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court says he's fine, he's good to go, then of course he's free. But apart from that, they are free to bring. How many charges have they been bringing against Trump? You notice that from one court to another, there's a charge today. There are about 35 in one court. I think he has about 34 charges against him. Okay, so you can be acquitted on 1 or 2 and be found wanting in another, maybe 1 or 2 others. So that's the issue. It's not like the EFCC is not. The EFCC is doing a very good job at prosecution. So
are we saying that the EFCC at this point has gotten over that initial shadow of media trials? Because we've seen a lot of public officers are alleged to have committed all kinds of financial crimes by the EFCC, but we've not really seen, apart from in recent times, any deliberacy on the part of the anti-graft agency to bring them to book.
Like I said, there's a fresh provenance at EFCC. The new chairman is still new. Okay. He's against media trial. And in any case, if you look at it, some of the things that we call media trial, they're not really media. It's not the EFCC trying you. The EFCC has a mandate, of course. If people don't hear from the EFCC, they think that nothing is going on. In fact, let me tell you, there are a lot of, if you have anybody who works in the EFCC, okay, and who can divulge some of this information, some of them are not really
classified.
They're not classified. Okay, there are a lot of cases. Those guys are bogged down with work, particularly the legal department, the operatives. After all these investigations, you see one lawyer has about 70 cases it's working on.
But some Nigerians...
It's just that the EFCC does not want to come out every day and say, oh, this is what... Some of those cases, particularly when you are dealing with, how do you call them? Is it OAPs? No, or VIPs also. Let's say VIPs. You just can't help it. You know, they say goldfishes have no hiding place. So when someone has an issue, it will naturally come out. It's not the EFCC doing that. It's once it goes on social media, Nigerians will start. These Nigerians that do that do all those media, not EFCC. The job of the EFCC is, you know, sometimes just to release the information that this is, at least the Nigerians need to be carried along. They need to know what exactly is going on. You understand? Because it's people that read this petition. A lot of these petitions come from the states, and they have to understand that, look, this is what's going on, particularly when your governor is involved. Okay, the people in the state need to understand what's happening. Sometimes you hear people say, we don't know this so-and-so case. What's going on? We're not hearing anything from EFCC. Yeah. When EFCC speaks, some people say it's media trial. You follow? You know, nobody is doing media trial. Their own is just to release the information. Okay, for instance, they have not media tried Yaya Bello. They have not said, Yaya Bello, you are guilty. They have not said that.
They've only said come and answer.
They just say come and answer. So if you see what is happening, so who has caused this? If Yaya Bello had quietly gone to EFCC, probably this information or whatever will not have gotten this level of traction. Is that also? Maybe they'll just say maybe a few headlines. Yaya Bello invited to EFCC and blah blah blah. He would have just gone there, you know, and then the officers, they would have just carried it on from there. They know what to do, you know, and all of that. Okay, but he didn't do that. So look at what how this news. This has generated to this level. It's not EFCC that caused it. EFCC did not cause it. Did Obianoson get to this level? It didn't. You understand? In fact, there was even a time that there was one picture of Obiano, the former governor, who they said was in one place. No, he was not even the. He was not, sorry, no Obiano. He's the humanitarian minister. Okay, that they said she was somewhere. They just, I don't know if you saw that picture.
Yeah, I remember.
EFCC had to come out and say, no, that's not true. That's not our office. Somebody just photoshopped and did something. So it's not the EFCC that is doing all of these things. You know, they said that she was wearing one Ankara, and there's a way they snapped that picture. They went around and they say she's whatever, she's, and then EFCC now saying no, that's not our office. We don't, our office pink. I think that wall is pink also, and they said we don't have a pink wall in our place, and they were doing that for her. You follow? Up
sympathy and
yes, they were
emotions.
doing. They were trying to, because the fact that she's undergoing prosecution doesn't mean they've not found her guilty. Okay, so they cannot say that. Of course, monies were recovered. A lot of monies were recovered, right?
Yeah.
But because they are not the court, they have not declared you guilty. You follow? And so that they are prosecuting you does not mean that they want to destroy you. That's not the idea. The idea is that if people come up with any other thing that is it's not from them, they should not say, oh, because she's guilty, let her. No, they don't do that. They say, no, that's not from us. You know, when she came here, she didn't come here in this cloth, and she did not. We don't have that background, you know, and that was like almost helping her case. You understand? But it's Nigerians that are doing all of those things. So when it comes to media trial, I think that the EFCC I don't think they do media trial, to the best of my knowledge, particularly with this new man who has said at the beginning, if you watched him, his interaction with the media, he had a parley with the media men, and we watched him, and he said, look, we're not doing media trial. We will try to see how we de-emphasize raid. We will not break into people's houses. Okay? However, there's a caveat. Okay? If they don't have a choice, if you give them no choice, then of course that's different. But of course they will come with you. First of all, it has to do, this fight has to be with human. His vision, if you watch the man, is to fight corruption with a human face. Yes, and prevention. He said it costs less to prevent crime, okay, than to prosecute it. Okay, so it's like he will tell you. I listened to him when he said, "Look, if I have 10 naira, he say, if I have, he say, maybe I might not spend up to or more than 2 naira to prevent when it comes to prevention, but when it comes to prosecution, I spend up to 10 naira. He was just giving an example. Usually he was he used 10 naira, 1, 2 naira. Okay? So it costs more, it costs less to prevent. So what his emphasis is, let us prevent this thing. You understand? So he's not trying to witch hunt anybody. Who is he witch hunting? He doesn't need to witch hunt anybody. The BELLO is a member of the ruling party. Is that not so? So ordinarily, who should witch hunt him? If he was an opposition governor, or ex-governor, or member of the party, or opposition member of one of the parties, then we could say, oh, maybe they are witch hunting him. That probably would have stuck. But how do you say they are witch hunting him? I don't see why anybody should witch hunt him. Okay. But
let's look at something you said. You said the lawyers in the EFCC are bogged down with work.
A lot of work.
An average lawyer has over 70 cases.
Yes.
You know? But Nigerians recently, with the apprehension of Bobrisky and most recently Obi Cubana, Nigerians are like the EFCC seems to be jobless, chasing people on the account of the abuse of the Naira.
I just gave you do you know how much this new chairman has recovered since he came? You followed the story of the humanitarian ministry. Over 30 billion. The heist that took place in that place. Did he make so much noise? You understand? He recovered. You just said it. Look at the amount he recovered in one fell swoop. Why? Oh, because it's not breaking into people's house and just, you see, that's why I said if you are not in the media every day, they say you are jobless. I just gave you an example. There's a lot going on if you have anybody there who can just tell you, like I said, it's not classified information, he can tell you the work that they are doing there. How do you say they don't? Okay. There was a former minister, what was the name? The former minister of power, who was declared wanted.
Yes.
He was detained. He was brought to that place. Over $2 billion of power funds in the past. You did not see that. Nigerians didn't see that. How do you say, while they are fighting the big guys, doesn't mean that they don't have time for the small ones. Okay? I listened to the chairman when he said, when they asked him this same question sometime, and he said, it is the smaller thieves that will become the big thieves tomorrow. So should we, in fact, I listened to someone even on radio who said, is it because of the Cubana high priest and Bobrisky, is it because of that dollar is rising? Is this they are spraying naira? Is it responsible for the spike in the dollar rate and all of that? And that kind of argument doesn't make sense, because should we now allow people to beat traffic light? Because after all, if you beat the traffic light, okay, it does not. You're beating the traffic light is not responsible for the price of anything in the market. It's not the reason why dollar is going up, is it? So we should now allow the small things, what you consider small. Let me ask you, which country have you seen where people spray money? Do you know that the money, as you know, it's not just that you are spraying money and people are stepping on the money. Have you not noticed? Do you know that the naira is also our national asset? It's something of pride. People travel to UK, they come back with, they still come back with pounds sterling they keep.
Yes.
You understand? It's a national asset. You don't step on them. You don't devalue them. Do you know what it costs to print 1 naira? Oh, those naira, they didn't drop from heaven. The naira notes that you have didn't drop from heaven. They were printed. It cost money to print. Have you heard how much it cost? CBN, has CBN ever told you how much it costs to print 1 naira? And then you just come, and you know what? There's a law. It's a CBN Act. It says, no, don't do this. But you can see that people are just stubborn. They just want to show that they are big, that they are popular, and everything. And then you are supposed to be a model. All these guys who are on social media and everything, I don't know. You are supposed to be a good example. People should see you and say, I want to be like you. You understand? You are the one who should be telling people, don't do this. The reason why they give them, what do you call it, these commercials or this endorsement. Yes. People come and give endorsement because they see that you have followers. The idea is you should influence. If you don't have any positive influence on these people, you can't come and be spraying naira, and people are stepping on it. People are squeezing them, and they are. It's not nice. It's not nice. It's against the law, and so the EFCC look.
But should that be
the reason I told you?
Should that be the primary responsibility of the EFCC? Why not the police?
That's not the primary responsibility. Their primary. Like I just told you, there's a lot that they do. Okay, there are a lot of other cases that they are dealing with.
Yes. Okay,
and many of them are in court, and they're taking it one at a time. However, if you think, people just think that
because we've seen legal luminaries like yourself say that it's not the responsibility of the EFCC to prosecute the abuse of the naira, that it's not the purview of the EFCC.
It's not a financial crime. It's not. It's a look. You have breached. It has to do with money. It's a financial crime. How can you say it's not? If you say okay, maybe is that why they are okay? Whose responsibility is it?
The police, for instance.
Who says? Sometimes the functions of the police and the EFCC overlap.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody has been prosecuted even before Bobrisky. There was a lady who was prosecuted last year. Then Bobrisky. Okay.
Now.
And
Cubana.
He has challenged the jurisdiction of the court. But let's see how that will go. I've seen all kinds of funny videos I will say, oh, he can't prove that the EFCC will have to prove that the video is real. EFCC have to prove that the money is real money. EFCC have to prove. I just laughed because they don't even know what they are saying. There are some things I can't divulge. Let the EFCC be doing its job. You can't, except if the video is fake. Even if that naira is not real naira. You don't think that where they are pushing that Cubana guy to is a more dangerous terrain. So assuming that those naira he was spraying, assuming that they were fake.
But we've seen situation where
so you're supposed to spray fake naira. How did you get access to fake naira? How did you print it? You don't know that pushing him to a more dangerous place? You don't know that it's more honorable for him to just plead guilty, just like Bobrisky, and take 6 months? Now that he has said you are not guilty, okay, the case has gone to trial. So you have wasted the time. The reason Bobrisky got 6 months is because the cause is like he did not waste the time of the court. He just pleaded guilty, and that's all. But somebody says I'm not guilty, and then the court, you'll be wasting the time of the court, adjournment. By the time if he's found guilty, his sentence will not be the same with Bobrisky, because you have wasted our time. You said you are not guilty. So are you saying that you are not the person in the video? Are you saying the video is not correct? Are you saying what are you saying? The EFCC has the best forensic lab in West Africa. Write that down. Tell anybody, ask anybody. Other agencies of government they want to do all this forensic analysis. They go there. Yeah, journalists, make your findings. Go there one time and say you want to see their lab. I'm sure they will let you go. They will test all those things, and then you will see they will come up with facts. So who says that it's not the function of the EFCC? Look, Nigeria is over 200. We're over 200 million population, right?
Yes.
Good. So they may be doing a lot. The commission may be doing a lot, but they have. Then it's not just Abuja. It's not just the headquarters now. They have offices in many states of the and they are recruiting and they're getting more hands. By God's grace, they're getting more hands, and so they have time for all of those things we call small boys, all those Yahoo boys. So should we allow Yahoo boys to go because we say, oh, they are not this thing, because they have not dealt with you? Maybe because you have not suffered in their hands, you have not been their victim, so you will not understand. You will not understand that as I speak to you. Someone was telling me a few weeks ago that if you go in their area in Maraba, he said the Yahoo boys, there was just this small Yahoo boys, not the big time Yahoo boys, the Yahoo guys, though. These small young boys, some of them are undergraduates. They are buying land. They are buying, in fact, someone told me that he knew a guy who bought a car for his father, he bought a car for his mother, bought a house for them, and he's an undergraduate. And so we should forget about that, because they are not...
no, but it's being an undergraduate enough reason to suspect the means of...
So what is he doing now? No, it's very simple. If you are doing something... Listen, if you are an undergraduate and you are doing business, people will not call you Yahoo now. They already know what you are doing. Do you understand? You can have a business. Maybe before you even went to school, after you finished school, you were doing something. Yeah. But suddenly, you just come up with this wealth. And it's not just so many of them. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's forget about the optics and everything. I mean, we know, you understand what you know that a lot of these boys. Somebody was telling me if you go to his state, my colleague was telling me that if you see them, they are students. Go to campus and see how they are living. If they are doing business, it's okay. If you say they invite you, say you are a Yahoo person, and they come, and you just explain, no, I'm not a Yahoo. This is I have legitimate business. I sell cement. I'm a Dangote dealer. I'm a Boa dealer. You understand? You just come and explain. And then once you can show the source of your income and everything. That's why I said, if the EFCC invites you, they're not saying you are guilty. Just come but most times they say when they come, when they catch them, they come with laptops. Somebody was telling me, that they got this young guy. They came with the guy's laptop, and they asked him, open your laptop. And the guy said the laptop was not his own. And he's not Yahoo and all of that, you know, and he said he did not have the password because it's not his laptop. He said the way the guy was talking, He said he believed him. He almost swore, please, I believe this guy. This guy cannot have this. This guy cannot be. He said one guy just came. The guy has been dealing with them. He understands them very well. So the guy just looked at him and said, open that laptop. The guy was still begging and saying, look, almost crying, that I'm innocent. I don't know what you are saying. He said the guy just, there was a way he landed him a slap. The guy just opened the laptop and come and see the things in the laptop. It's a student.
We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll go back to our initial conversation with regards to the former governor of Kogi State and, of course, the unfolding drama between him and the EFCC. It's still KORERO on Rapid TV. We'll be back in just a moment. Do stay with us.
My name is Akio.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Leo Bliss.
My name is Akava. I go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. And I love Rapid TV.
Shout out
Rapid TV.
Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV. This is Rapid TV.
Rapid TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it down.
Leave it like that.
It's still KORERO, Rapid TV's social, political, and general interest show. And we just want to say thank you for staying tuned. And if you just tuned in, well, you have missed quite a bit. And just to also let you know, the show is live and interactive on all our social media platforms. So do well to follow and like Rapid TV on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and of course on Instagram. It's at official Rapid TV, at official Rapid TV. And to contribute to the show, don't forget to add the hashtag KORERO, hashtag YAYA BELLO, hashtag EFCC, and of course be part of the ongoing conversation on the show. Today, we're beaming our searchlight on the unfolding drama between the former Kogi State Governor, YAYA BELLO, and the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The EFCC is finally bringing BELLO to trial, accusing him of money laundering involving over 80 billion naira after years of beaming their searchlight on him and his family members. The Commission's long-time investigation of the former governor had resulted in the 10 billion naira bribery and money laundering charges it instituted against his nephew Ali Bello and a co-defendant in the year of 2022. Now, the prosecution named former governor Bello in one of the newly introduced counts as an accomplice and not a defendant. warrant. Now, in the count, the EFCC accused Bello of conspiring with Ali Bello, Dauda Suleiman, and Abdul Salam Hudu to convert over 80 billion naira belonging to the KOGI state to their personal use. And of course, the federal government has placed a wanted warrant over the ex-governor of KOGI state, and right now he's on the watch list. So virtually every agency of government is on the lookout for the former governor. Now, the case which has seen the EFCC call witnesses to testify is before Justice James Omotosho, and of course I still have with me in the studio, looking at this development from all the legal perspective, Barrister Tony IDOKO. Barrister, once again, thank you for your time so far on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, the EFCC is building a fresh case. As I have established, there's already a case of the 10 billion naira where his nephew, Ali Bello, as we speak, is in incarceration with regards to that particular case. Now, the EFCC is building a fresh case against the former governor, especially after they filed a charge of 19 counts against him. The case also features the names of the same set of alleged accomplices as the old case, and alleged offenses hover around the 80 billion naira transactions alleged in the old case. Now, does the EFCC have a case against the former governor? They filed 19 charges, but the issue is, do they really have a case against the former governor?
You see, the EFCC, to the best of my knowledge, they're not flippant. It's not a frivolous commission. You know, everyone knows that once you mention EFCC, everyone knows that
it's weighty.
It's weighty. You don't just take any. That's why I said, if you bring something to them and they think that, look, you are just being silly, they'll just dismiss it. You don't just go. Even if you are taking something to them, you know that you have to be careful yourself. You follow. Now, if the FCC did not have anything against him, why do you think they go and waste six hours if they didn't have enough evidence? They go and waste all those man hours, you know, waiting for him to come out. They would not have done that. Now, they did their investigation. By the time the FCC is inviting you, they have finished the investigation. They did their investigation. You just mentioned his nephew also. All those guys were invited. And they helped. They helped in the
They provided information.
Provided information and everything. It was contingent upon those information that they now invited him. Ask yourself, why is he refusing to go? Why? He's a former governor. He's not an ordinary person. He's an ordinary
Could
person
it be that he is also being wrongly advised?
Certainly. It's either someone is advising him wrongly, or I know he has his lawyers. And his lawyers, I don't know what his lawyers are telling him, but I think that his lawyers are supposed to advise him correctly. Okay? That he should go and answer to the call of the EFCC. Come and give, provide,
explain.
Because there are missing gaps. Just come and see how they can tie some of these loose ends. Okay? That's why you are being invited. So just go. And notice that this invitation didn't start on Thursday. It's been on.
For over 2-3 years.
It's been on since he came. You know, he had immunity all this while. But the case had been on. Okay? But after he left office, he was just supposed to call immediately. So they've been calling him, and he's been neglecting their calls. That was why whatever happened. So I believe that the EFCC has a good case. If not, they will not waste their time with an ex-governor. Like I said, like I told you, it's not, EFCC is not a political movement. He's also. And I said earlier that he's a member of the ruling party. That's why we must commend the president. Because he could have said, the president could have given him, could have said, maybe try to say I can give him some buffer. You understand?
Safe landing.
Yes, and all of that. But the president is not, if you notice, this president has been allowing people, okay, look at the ministers now. Even the minister, he could have covered the minister. All those people that were invited, are they not all members of the ruling APC? The three ladies. One was a former minister, but the other two, he gave them appointment. He confirmed the other. I think the other one was there before. Then he now reconfirmed her again, and then appointed a new minister. But he allowed them to go and answer to whatever the charges or were against them. He allowed them, and he did the needful by suspending them. He could have covered up, and then we'll just maybe, if they want to cover up, they know what to do. They know the things to say. And as usual, Nigerians will be bifurcated between, yes, they did the right thing, whether they are guilty or not, and then we'll just talk about it for a few weeks, and then we'll forget about it, because a new issue will certainly come up, you know, and then we'll forget about that and be talking about anything. But the president has not done that, so that's quite commendable. Okay, if you look at the other minister of the minister of power, Gungunloye, is from his area. He's a Yoruba man. He could have said, no, we are brothers, let's let it. No, he has not done that. You understand? And the new chairman was a good thing. People have really praised him for the appointing him, because he brooks no nonsense. And he's just doing his job. And there's a case against the governor, certainly, for the governor to be running. No, I mean, it's quite clear. For you to be running, no. It's clear. They say the guilty are afraid. So if your hands are clean, if you did nothing.
But if you were his counsel, what would you say to him?
If I were his counsel, what would I say to him? I will advise him to
appear.
Of course, that's what a lawyer is supposed to do. That's why you're called you're a member of the Temple of Justice. Your first duty is to see that justice is done. Okay? So you are supposed to advise him to first of all, go and answer. You didn't send him to do anything wrong, did you? So you first of all, and then if you want to defend him, you can now follow up and then see how you can help him. Okay, look at the case and see what you can do. But you can't advise him to evade justice. Nobody does that. You are not helping the country. You're not helping the profession. You're not helping the state, even the state where it comes from. And that's why people were disappointed with the governor. Of course, I understand that they are friends or whatever. But if as a governor you are doing this, how can you promote justice in your? How can you? Yes, in your state. If all the crimes being committed, how can you prosecute? You have a justice department in your place, in your state. How can you ask your attorney general to prosecute crime when you are helping one to evade justice, while you yourself you are obstructing justice in another case? So the problem with us is people are looking at all of these things. And then somebody tomorrow can challenge him based on that in the state and they say, okay, the police want to arrest. Say, why should the police arrest me? He said, what of the governor?
From the legal standpoint,
yes, what
is the kind of precedence that this sets for the future, especially for the current administration, current governors who probably have causes to answer when they leave office?
The way I see it, it will not set any precedent. Not every governor will act this. I don't want to say foolish. Not every governor will do this. They know better. Okay, where do you want to run to? Where you run into? He has been declared wanted, and if he doesn't turn himself in after a while, I think Interpol will get involved. So wherever. So how long will you be running? So why would anyone? I don't think it will set any precedent. Why would you? Those who attempted to run, who ran out at that time, didn't you see what happened to them? Sometimes you follow. So there's no need. If look, the thing is, it should make governors to govern better.
Be more accountable.
Yes, that's the idea. You understand? 80 billion. Is it true? Because, come on, check out such humongous heist of a state resources. People have died on the roads. People have died in the hospitals. Schools, there are virtually no schools. One time I was traveling through Kogi State, I just saw one school. Just like, not only in Kogi, in many other places, but I saw one school. Man, I felt this revulsion. You understand? Now, this is just one governor. And like somebody said, they're saying 80 billion is just, it may not be all of the money, you understand? It's just the one that we have been able to discover. You know, and this is going on across the states. And so you can see that the problem of Nigeria is not the federal government, honestly.
It's at the state level.
Yes, because I was talking with somebody a few days ago and he said, look, do we really have a state? It's local government. Everywhere is a local government. What you call a state is just the how do you put it now?
Maybe the state capital that gives it that slight cosmopolitan look.
The state, everywhere you stand in Nigeria, you're standing in the local government council. Everywhere. This AMAC. Even the state government, even the state capital, it's a local government. And then we have this joint allocation money and everything, and then you send it all into the location, and governors just do whatever they want, you know. So I don't think that they are doing right. I don't want to mention, but we have a few good examples. We have a few good examples of governors who are working, you know. And if you permit me, I could say maybe like Lagos State government. You can see the guys up and doing. If you look at Borno State governor, you can see he's trying his best. If you look at Abia State, you can see he's doing some things. If you look at Plateau State, you can see they're trying their best. We don't know what will happen. We don't know what will happen in the future. But of course, even all of this, if they miss the mark, there will be petitions against them too. You know, so it's not all the governors that are this terrible. You know, right? Let him just know wherever he is, wherever his supporters are. He's still innocent until he's proven guilty. Exactly. So let him just come and go to court and
answer the questions.
That's all. That's all. And if he thinks he's innocent, he gets let him get the defense lawyers. And if they can put up a very good defense for him. If there's no evidence, of course, he's free to go.
Well, Barrister Tony IDOKO, at this point, I want to say thank you so much. You have shed a whole lot of light. I hope when we do come again, you would oblige us your presence.
Very well.
Well, you heard the conversation. Simple advice to the former governor of Kogi State. Wherever you are, just come. Answer the questions. You are innocent until proven guilty. That's the much for this edition of KORERO. Next week promises to be very interesting. As always, we promise to keep our ears to the ground and our searchlight beamed on developments as they evolve. And of course, we'll keep our eyes out. There's a wanted notice for the governor. So when we see him, we will advise him to go and answer the questions. Special thanks to my guest, Barrister Tony IDOKO, and of course to you out there for allowing us to be part of your morning. Trust us to be back on Monday and in the new week with more incisive discussions as we continue to beam our searchlight on developments as they evolve. I am Nkamian John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, signing out.